Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 2 of What If Naruto Was banished from Konoha and made them regret it. Remember to get this one to 100 likes as usual. Share this to all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Universe Had Quirks and enjoy that over on Anime King 3. And over on Anime King, I post a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was a Prodigy from the Uchiha, Uzumaki, and Senju clan, guys. So go ahead and enjoy that as well. And also, guys, I posted a brand new movie, What If Naruto, Godlike Naruto Was hunted by the gods of Mount Olympic, and enjoy that over an Anime Prince, guys. So yeah, without further ado or wasting any more time, what do you say we jump right into this brand new episode? Begin now, guys. So the last part that we left off, as Temari was returning back to the village, as Naruto had passed out sometime earlier with Sasuke, Naruto was able to successfully bring Sasuke back to the village. However, the blood loss and the pain having passed out, Temari saw him as she quickly rushed over towards him. When the medical corps was passing and returning back to the village, they picked Sasuke up. She shouted at them to help him, as she was crying out at them to help Naruto. Seeing that he was in much worse state, however, they said that Sasuke come first before they went off. With that, she picked up Naruto and placed him on her back as she rushed back to the village. Upon entering and rushing towards the hospital, when the medical corps saw Naruto, they quickly started to act like they were invisible. Temari shouted at them, yelled at them. As Tsunade was lucky enough to come through to see Naruto, she quickly rushed to his aid as she and Shizune started to work on him. With that, Temari was told to leave the room as she had to wait outside. Gaara arrived not too long after, but before that she had a confrontation with Chakra. Chakra, who heard that Naruto almost killed Sasuke, was furious, as Temari almost knocked her head off hearing she was talking about him, and he was in there fighting for his life. As she left with Gaara after that, 6 months later, Temari was making her way in a village near the Land of Wind. Something was wrong though when she came across a person. She followed said person into an alley, as she watched as he drank a bottle of water and ate a pomegranate, as he then went and lied down on the ground. Walking over, she woke him up as it was none other than Naruto. He looked a mess. She was confused, as she asked him what was going on. He told her that he was no longer a Konoha ninja, he was banished. Her stomach rumbled seeing that she was hungry as he offered her his remaining food. When she found out that it was his last one, she started crying. Why would he give her that if that was his last one? However, she didn't understand what was going on. How could Konoha kick him out? It made no sense at all. As she held on to him as they stood there and talked, Naruto's walls started to break, his barriers started to break, as Naruto ended up crying. He hadn't cried for a long while now as he cried right in front of her. She held on to him, telling him that everything was going to be alright, as Naruto cried in her arms. Waking up, Naruto was in a hotel as she had brought him here and paid for the room. She got him a good meal, as Naruto ate. However, he said that if it was poison, as she looked at him, telling him of course not. He told her that if she was here to kidnap him or something, at least just give him a few hours. He would go without any commotion. As she saw it then and there, he was broken. His spirit was broken. It was then that he told her what happened. After everything, Sasuke had spread the rumor that, well, Naruto had been the one to attack and try to kill him because, in their eyes, Sasuke was being taken from the village, and Naruto, who wanted to prove some sort of superiority and wanted to also prove that Sakura should be with him, attacked Sasuke. Even Jiraiya took his word. Even Jiraiya, saying that Naruto used the technique that he taught him, try and kill his comrade. As he took away the contract from him, Sakura even yelled at him. It was then that a meeting was called as Danzo, and the elders spoke about the banishment of Naruto. Speaking about good points about no one being able to control him if he went berserk. They'd already spoken to the daimyo about this, using the man fear off the last couple of years on 9-kill attack to get him to banish Naruto, so now they had no choice as she cried once they were gone and she was all alone. She was forced to deliver this news to Naruto as she saw the look of brokenness on his face. He gave her back the necklace that she once gave him as Naruto left the village. Sasuke was there at the end, telling him that this was all his fault, he shouldn't have come after him. And know that he couldn't get what he wanted, he made sure that he wouldn't get what he wanted either. Naruto would have retorted and cursed at him, but he did not. He just could not find the engine. Temari was furious as she felt like she could just go back to Leaf and kill them all. Naruto has been out on the road for 6 months now, as someone found out that a wandering Jinchuriki was out there, so he has been hiding for 6 months now. Konoha banned him from associating with any of their allies. They also banned him from going to any of the villages, as Naruto has been on his own, trying his best to make money, trying his best to survive out here. However, what Temari didn't know was he was planning on giving up very soon. As she noticed that, but she stopped him, she told him that she won't allow him to do it. She won't allow him to end himself, as she wanted him to come to the sand. Gaara would not agree to any of the stupid trepidation that they placed upon the other lands. Gaara did not care because he was now the Kazekage. Naruto was shocked to hear that, given the fact that most of the council still had majority of power. But Gaara was being groomed and he was already in the position, and not to mention the council would be happy to see someone like Naruto enter their village. Not to mention the majority of people that had respect for him after he changed Gaara for the better. So with that, after eating once again, both him and Temari made their way towards the sun as Naruto was finally back in a hidden village. He couldn't be more grateful throughout the time they spent together. Both him and Temari got ridiculously close, even sleeping in the same bed. She even let it slip that she sleep with stuffed teddy bears by accident. However, she didn't mind telling him for some reason. So with that, they made their way towards the sand. So yeah guys, basically as we left off, you guys can switch your cards, place it of yourself, so we jump right into this new episode. Begin now guys. Gaara was in his office, looking over the paperwork that he was assigned to do, with the help of his secretary, Matsuri. The council wanted Gaara to have help, learning the ways of the village and looking over village documents. However, Gaara was rather annoyed at being stuck in the pile of paperworks. For a person that was not bound to anything in his life, and then being stuck in paperwork, it was rather difficult. His thoughts wandered towards his sister Temari. He had assigned a simple mission to her yesterday morning. She should have been back by late afternoon, but she hadn't arrived yet. He was getting worried, and he started to hate this emotion that he had long since forgotten as it was re-emerging. The fight with Naruto and his will. For his precious people had changed Gaara greatly, and now he had become the Kazekage to protect his people. Ironic, he had basically fulfilled a dream that Naruto had dreamed of for so long, because Naruto wanted to become Hokage, and here he was a Kage as well. His mind returned to Temari. If she did not return by sunset, he would send a scouting party for her. He then turned back his gaze down towards the devil paperwork. These papers had even better replication skills than Naruto. As he returned back to his work, breaking out of his thoughts, there was a knock to the door. As he and Matsuri stopped their scribbling and glanced up, maybe it was Temari, he mused. "Come in," he said. A small smile graced his lips as he saw that it was none other than Temari, glad that she was safe. However, there was another person that entered beside her. As Gaara knew that face immediately, but something was off. Something was definitely off with him. "Hey Gaara, it's been a long time." That is when Gaara could tell that definitely something was wrong. The way he spoke, something was with his eyes. It was missing something that Gaara could not tell what it was though. And the way he carried himself and speak. As Gaara was able to understand after looking into his eyes for a few seconds, they were dead. He could barely see that determination, the drive that he once had. The drive to aim for something large, it was gone. His eyes were just dim, empty, barely hanging on. He then took a closer look at Naruto and he saw the several cuts on his clothing. They were stitched in several places. Glancing down, he saw his sandals were really worn out. And also, he could see no leaf insignia all over him. None at all. However, Matsuri did not like the aggression that Naruto used towards Gaara. "Don't call the Kazekage by his name, commoner," she said. "Treat him with the respect that he deserves." As Matsuri looked at him, seeing that he wasn't a ninja, he was just a civilian, and yet he spoke to the Kazekage like that. That was disrespectful. As Naruto stepped back, that is when Gaara noticed that, indeed, something terrible had happened. Naruto had flinched and stepped back at her words, and she barely even shouted. He then spoke in another frail tone. I'm sorry, Kazekage-sama, he said. Gaara then turned towards Matsuri. The look in his eyes had her stepping away as well. Apologize and leave, he said. Matsuri swallowed thickly as she turned back to Naruto. I apologize for my rudeness. With that, she quickly rushed out of the room. As Naruto stood there, Gaara got out of his chair as he extended his hand in a gesture of friendship. As Naruto took the hand, Gaara even felt the weight of his hand it felt diminished. It's been a long time, my friend, he said, as he gave Naruto a small smile. Indeed it has, Kazekage-sama. Please, don't call me that, said Gaara. Formalities are unnecessary between the both of us. Gaara is fine, he said. As Temari was smiling, Gaara rarely let anyone call him by his name, except for her or Kankuro, which he insisted on not being formal. So the simple gesture showed how much he respected Naruto. And that made her happy. Temari, you were supposed to return yesterday afternoon. Were you ambushed? He asked, thinking that she was ambushed and Naruto came here to drop her off safely. Temari shook her head no. The mission went as planned, she said. However, when I finished my mission, I was going to have some lunch. When I found Naruto there, I was confused, wondering what he was doing all the way out here. As she told Gaara everything about what happened, Gaara listened to everything with rapt attention. There was no outward emotion, but on the inside, Gaara was boiling. Anger, hate, pain, betrayal. As he was almost considering heading towards the gates of the Hidden Leaf and releasing Shikaku there, he listened as Temari was on the verge of breaking down, retelling the story. It was painful. That's enough, he said. I've heard all I need to hear. As she nodded. Naruto, what Temari said. Is it all true, he said. As his mind was still trying to wrap his head around what he was just told. How could they kick someone like Naruto out? How could they do this to someone like him? Someone that fought with everything he had for the people, that even treat him badly. Someone that fought for people that did not give a damn about him, and yet they banish him. Temari's words, though, retelling the story, made Naruto felt horrible as the emotions came back. Emotions came back full force as he started to tremble. Temari made her way over towards him and wrapped an arm around him, and Gaara saw all that he needed to see as he realized that it was the truth. Shh, Naruto, it's alright. What's done is done. Forget about it all, she said. It's all in the past. I promise that everything will be fine, right? She whispered to him as he nodded. They stayed like that for a few moments as he broke apart. As Gaara was unable to fully wrap his head around everything. Despite the minutes, he was even surprised by his sister's behavior, as she barely showed her soft side, and it seems that both her and Naruto has gotten really close. She would always scold him and Gaara a bit. However, she showed that she cared in her scolding, but she didn't even treat Gaara and him like this. However, seeing the state that Naruto was in, he did not dread too much on it. I am sorry, Naruto, said Gaara. I did not know any of this, or I would have taken steps to help. Forgive me, he said. It's alright. It's not your fault, Gaara, said Naruto, as he regained his composure. Now, Naruto Uzumaki, I, Gaara, the 5th Kazekage of the Hidden Sand, hereby offer you a part in the Sand Forces. Do you accept, Gaara said, as Naruto's eyes widened. Shock that Gaara would say that so easily, as he would have expected something else, but he just offered to him. Yes, I would. Thank you, said Naruto, his voice sounding shaky. However, Gaara could hear the happiness inside of it. However, from what he was told, Naruto was by himself for 6 months. The 6 months had really took a toll on him. Even in their battle, even in the heat of things, he never saw Naruto broke down like this. However, he could hear the happiness in his tone, and that made Gaara smile. Gaara moved towards his desk as he rumbled through his drawer. He then brought out a headband from the Hidden Sand. As Gaara walked over and held it out, as Naruto reached forward and took the thing, his shaky hands holding on to the thing like it was about to disappear from him. He gripped it tight. As he ran his finger over the metal, Temari slowly reached out and took it from him. as she placed it on his right bicep. She then wrapped her arms around him in a tight hug. "It looks great on you. Congratulations," she whispered in his ear. As they broke apart. "Thank you," said Naruto, bowing his head in respect towards the both of them. "Since you are new to the village, and you don't have a place to stay, you'll be staying with me and my family at the Sabuku State. I will talk to the council tomorrow about your rank and status within the village, but I assure you, you will be given a respectable rank and an honorable Sanshinobi treatment, equally as any other in the village," Gaara said. Gaara knew that the council would not let a shinobi like Naruto get out of their hands when they need that strength to recover. As Naruto nodded, "Would I be correct in assuming that you have not trained in the past 6 months?" "No, I've been learning a bit about seals," said Naruto. "Since they are not flashy, I've been focusing on that, but other than that, not really. I don't have the edge that I had a few months ago. I request that I be placed on the reserve list, so I can get myself back into fighting shape. I'll take it up with the council tomorrow, but don't worry, even if you are on the active list, I will have you go on simple missions until you're back in fighting shape," said Gaara. "I will take care of your monetary needs until you're fine to fend for yourself." As Naruto really appreciated all of this, you could see it in his eyes, on his face. As Gaara then got the payment for the mission for Temari that he sent her on, as he handed it to her, she was just about to ask about it because she needed it for something. "Give it to Matsuri on the way outside, and she will hand you the money." She nodded and took Naruto's hand as she pulled him along. As Matsuri was given the scroll, she took it, as she then handed over the correct money. Taking the cash, Temari made her way, as she dragged Naruto along. Everyone turned as they saw Temari walking, hand in hand with a boy. As Naruto saw the looks, there was no doubt they were wondering what a girl like her was doing with someone like him, given the state that he was in. It was not pleasant. As Naruto didn't want his, whole thing to reflect off on her. Temari," he said, "I don't think we should be holding hands. People are staring, and it wouldn't be good for you to be seen holding hands with someone like me." Temari stopped as she turned towards him. "I couldn't care less what those idiots gossip about, and I'd rather be with you than them, any day of the year. You understand?" she said. As Naruto nodded, looking at her with a smile, her hand never breaking contact with his, as they made their way. His hand felt big, rough, and also so gentle, she didn't want to let go. Ever since her mother, no one had held her hand, and she liked the feeling from Naruto. However, it was different from when her mother held her hand when she was younger. This was completely different. As they made their way towards the shopping section of the Shinobi district, as they arrived towards a Shinobi store, as they entered, Naruto glanced around. It's been a while since he saw a Shinobi store. As he walked over towards the wall and saw expensive weapons that were lined, swords, strange fans like Temari. However, they were not as big, nor were they custom made like hers. A man walked over, seeing Naruto looking over the weapons. "Can I help you, young man?" he said, as he saw the weapons that Naruto was looking at. Seeing how Naruto was dressed, "I'm afraid I don't think that you'll be able to purchase those weapons. I'm not trying to be rude, but the things in this store are rather expensive," he said, as he was judging Naruto because of the way that he was dressed. "I know, sir," said Naruto. "I don't have the money anyways. I was just looking at these." "I'm sorry," said Naruto. The man nodded, as he gave Naruto a smile. He was not trying to be rude, he was just telling Naruto the truth. As he was about telling that it was alright when Temari arrived, as she had placed her fan at the counter for maintenance. "Hideki," she said, "he's with me." The man turned towards her surprised as he smiled. "Ah, Temari-sama," he said. "What can I help you with today?" As you can see, Naruto here is in need of some clothes and equipment. He has just joined the village and has become a shinobi. So I want some clothes and other equipment put on my account for him, alright? The man then turned as he saw the headband on his bicep. As he apologized to Naruto as Naruto waved it off, Naruto stepped towards Temari. "Temari, this place is really expensive. Should we go somewhere that is cheaper?" he said. "You don't have to spend so much on me," he told her, not wanting her to waste a lot of her money. She simply placed a finger to his lips, as she smiled at him. "Hush up now," she said. "Don't worry about the price. Now let's go and get you something," she said, as she dragged him along. As Naruto saw, there was only bright colors there. The darker colors were quite rare. He believed it was because of the climate that was here. Temari was going through some clothing with a female attendant, as Naruto saw a happy glint in her eye. He smiled at seeing her so happy. As he decided to let her choose for him, his choices were not the best, and this was the first time he had been in a shinobi clothing store. and being treated so nicely and not being ripped off. As Temari saw him just standing there, at the side looking at her, as she grew confused and walked over towards him. "What's the matter, Naruto?" she said. "Why aren't you looking through the clothes? Don't you like this store?" she asked. "No, I don't have a really good choice on clothing, so I guess I'll go with your choice for now if that's alright," he said. She smiled brightly at that before she nodded. "You just leave it all to me, and I'll be back with the best clothes for you, alright?" As he nodded, she made her way back towards the attendant. He never knew that Temari loved to shop so much, but it must be something that all girls love. Finally, after an hour of shopping, Temari returned some clothing, as she pushed him into the changing room along with them. As Naruto stepped out, even the attendant started to blush as well. A simple white t-shirt with a cut sleeve blue mesh underneath. Because of 6 months of hard labor, without using his chakra, Naruto muscles had gotten somewhat defined. A lot better than it was back in his younger years. Well, before the 6 months. Sky blue baggy pants with a lot of pockets for utilities. Same sky blue gloves and sandals that were blue and black. She had chosen the colors that were close to his eyes to complement them. As Naruto started to get rather nervous with them staring at him. The colors and the lighter material will help him in the heat of the desert, she thought to herself. "So, do you like it?" said Naruto. As both girls broke out of their stupor, as they nodded their head. It was a lot better than the orange, she thought to herself. As she wrapped bandage around his forearms and legs to protect him from the sun. As she purchased some konas and shurikens. As the shop owner said that he will send the clothing towards his home, as Temari told him to deliver it towards the Sabukuno estate. The man was shocked but nodded as he asked for any customizations. As Naruto nodded as he got a pen and paper. As Naruto drew the Uzumaki symbol and also the Namikaze, it was a small family, it was a lightning bolt right in the center of the Uzumaki symbol, merging the two of them together. The man told him that he will have it done, as Naruto told him to put on the back and the sleeve as well, as Naruto thanked the both of them. Time skip. Naruto was surprised as he saw the massive house that Temari took him to, as he was surprised that it was only for 3 people. "Alright Naruto, this is my house, and now yours for the time being. Let me show you your own, alright?" She showed him the large living room and the dining room that was attached to the kitchen, as she brought him to the first floor, as Naruto saw many rooms in the hallway that went down. She pulled him to a room with a king-size bed, a big closet, a dressing table with a huge shelf beside it, and an attaching bathroom. As Naruto was transfixed that he was gonna live here. "And this is your room," she said. "The one beside yours is Kankuro's, the one in front is Gaara's, and mine is at the end of the hall at the left," as she chirped happily. They made their way downstairs as Naruto sat on the couch as she sat beside him. "Man, I wish we could have something to eat just right now. The restaurant take 2 hours to deliver, and I hate to eat there with all the people staring at me all the time," she mumbled. "Then maybe I could make you something," said Naruto. She looked up towards him and raised eyebrow. "You can cook?" As Naruto got to his feet and made his way to the kitchen, checking what they have. Temari sat down as she pulled a small stool and watched him. She watched as he took out the knife. He washed his hands and then the vegetables that he was able to find, as he had already go through and saw what was there. She then saw him proceeding to slice the vegetables up. A piece of steak that he found in the fridge, as Naruto made a sauce that he glazed over it. The aroma spread through the house as Temari stomach started to growl. He turned towards her, making her blush in embarrassment. "Wow, you really know how to cook," she said. "I can tell from just the smell." "The only one amongst us that can cook is Kankuro, and that too is just average," she said. That is why she mostly ordered food home. As Naruto brought the plate towards her, Temari used a fork as she cut a piece, before she bring it to her lips. As she bite down on it, the flavors exploded in her mouth. She immediately dug in for some more. Naruto smiled seeing that she liked it, as he started to eat slowly himself. Ayame taught him how to cook. However, Naruto did not like to eat alone. That is why majority of the time that he eat at the stand. As Temari finished and cleaned her plate, she sighed in relief, as she turned towards him. "You're a great cook, Naruto," she said. This beat the hell out of the restaurant food any day. As Naruto took the plate and went to wash them, as she leaned against the counter beside him. "I'm glad you like it. I can make you dinner every night if you like. It's the least I can do for all you have done for me." Temari beamed at hearing that. Eating food like that every night would be heaven. "That would be awesome," she said. "Now I don't have to eat Kankuro's bland dishes anymore." as she scrunched up her face, making Naruto chuckle a bit. His laugh was soft, but at least he was coming out a bit. Naruto himself, he felt good. It has been a long time since he laughed. You should laugh and smile more, she said. It suits you better. Yeah, maybe I might have some things to be happy about here, said Naruto, in a whisper, as she heard him, with a nodding smile. As both of them went to their rooms, they changed for the night as they went to bed. Later that night, Temari could not sleep, as she was trying to hug her stuffed bear to her chest, but it just would not work, as she missed the warmth of Naruto from sleeping with him in the bed so much time, as she was in her underwear and a white t-shirt, as she couldn't sleep, as she turned herself around a couple of times. She even drank some water. As she passed by Naruto's room and she heard sniffling, she came to a stop. She went into his room as she saw that he was asleep. However, he must be having some terrible dreams. He was crying in his sleep. She moved over towards him as she closed the door behind her. Shh, it's alright, she said. As she tried to calm him down, she held on to him, as Naruto seemed to find her arm out for warmth, as he held on to her as well. She couldn't imagine what he was doing out there by himself for the past 6 months. He had to be in constant fear of people coming after him, constant fear of hiding, the depression, the sadness. It was a good thing that she found him before anything got too bad. I promise, she said. Everything's gonna be alright. As she lay her head beside him, when his arm came around and wrapped around her, making her weep, as she was in her underwear, and Naruto was in his boxers and a t-shirt. However, she felt that familiar warmth as she raised her arm and wrapped it around him. As slowly but surely she drifted off, listening to his heartbeat as she placed her head near his chest. He too had calmed down, and they both fell into a deep slumber. The next morning, Temari slowly awoken as she felt herself being hugged by someone. Remembering last night, she tried to get up to avoid the embarrassing position that both her and Naruto would be found in. However, he held on to her tightly, making her blush intensify. However, she sighed and decided to sleep for a bit more. Downstairs, an exhausted Kankuro and Gaara came in, sitting on the couch. Man, that mission was tiring. I hate border security, Kankuro whispered as Gaara nodded. He did not have the same problem as Kankuro because he did not sleep. He only meditated. But last night he had some paperwork that needed to be sent in the morning, so he too was exhausted. Hey, where's Temari? She's usually up and about right now, Kankuro said, looking around. As Gaara nodded, wondering the same thing. She must be sleeping in. Kankuro got up as he made his way towards the stairs. As he went upstairs, as Gaara went up there as well, he had something he had to get in his room. Kankuro knocked on the door, but there was no answer. He knocked again, but there was no answer. Gaara came back after going into his room, as he saw Kankuro still standing there. What's wrong, he said. It's Temari, she's not answering. Should we, go in, he asked, a bit nervous. As Gaara thought about it, Temari did not like anyone coming into her room, especially in the morning, and she would chase you with her fan, if you did. But he had his son and he was safe. But for Kankuro, yes, we should, said Gaara. Kankuro shrugged as he opened the door. However, they were both confused as they saw that no one was in there. An idea then popped into Gaara's mind. Naruto was living here too. He must be in the guest room and know where she was, since he was the last one to meet her. I have an idea. Making his way, Kankuro followed behind him, as they arrived towards the guest room as Gaara opened said door. The both of them blinked in shock when they saw both Naruto and Temari cuddling up against each other on the bed. Kankuro's jaw dropped as he started to mutter incoherent words towards the blonde as he pointed towards him. As Gaara stood there even looking surprised, Temari's back was turned to Naruto as he had pulled her close, wrapping his arms around her stomach, and his face was buried in her flowing blonde hair. Temari heard Kankuro babbling as she slowly opened her eyes. When she then remembered where she was, her cheeks instantly became pink, with a blush. Naruto, wake up, she said. Both Gaara and Kankuro was worried. She was gonna kill Naruto. They could only imagine how she would react to someone getting in the same room with her, let alone the same bed. The last time Kankuro had stepped in on her room, and he had tried to wake her up early, as she was in a sleepy state thinking that it was some pervert entering her room. Gaara had to be the one to save his life, and giving him a chance to explain. Naruto, wake up, she said. Slowly opening his eyes, Naruto saw her looking at him as she was a bit red in the face. Temari, what are you doing here, he said. Why is your face so red? Are you sick? As Naruto leaned in and pressed his forehead against hers to check her temperature, and he saw that she was a bit hot. All the blood in her body rushed to her face as she gazed at his cerulean orbs that was looking at her with concern. You should probably stay in bed today. I'll make you something to eat. You look a bit sick, said Naruto. His eyes were innocent as he spoke. By the way, what are you doing here? Said Naruto. I was passing by and I saw that you were trembling and crying in your sleep, she said. So I came in here to soothe you. However, before I could leave, you pulled me in. Oh, sorry about that, said Naruto. It's alright, you were sleeping and I came into your room. She whispered as he nodded, letting her loose as the both of them got up. I'll go make some breakfast, said Naruto. As he got to his feet, oh, Kankuro and Gaara, he said, as he seemed to finally notice them. Morning, you guys, as he made his way. He thought they were a bit sleepy, that is why they didn't answer. The both of them did look strange. Temari saw their faces, as Gaara seemed to go into a deep thought. Both of them actually turned to look towards him. He then spoke. I approve. Temari's eyes went wide before Gaara grabbed Kankuro by the back and pulled him out. Her face went red as she realized what he was insinuating. She arrived some time later as she saw both Gaara and Kankuro were sitting at the table, and she smelled the amazing aroma. She saw Kankuro was drooling. Close your mouth, Kankuro, she said. I'll be getting the first plate anyways. And who said that? He asked. I did, she said. You got a problem with that? She asked in a sweet tone. He gulped and shook his head before sitting down, making her smile. As she looked towards the fried egg, the caramelized bacon and the toast, and the milk. As Naruto brought 2 plates over, Temari got the first one. Kankuro went for the second one until San came up stopping his hand, as Gaara took it. Hey, that's not fair, he yelled. You should have been faster, Gaara said, as Kankuro fumed until he felt a tap on his shoulder. Turning, he saw Naruto as Naruto handed him another plate, making him smile. As Temari decided to rub it in. Naruto, your food is amazing. A lot better, like 1,000 times better than Kankuro's. Indeed, said Gaara, as he was eating as well. Hey, Kankuro yelled, as he tasted it. He felt like he wanted to cry, as they were not used to these kind of foods, or having a lot of home-cooked meals, and Kankuro was not the best cook. In actuality, he was kind of bad, but not horrible, so Naruto cooking was top level. Kankuro had already been told everything about Naruto by Gaara, and he didn't want to cause any negative reaction of bringing back up some bad memories, so he did not say anything about it. As Temari followed him to the kitchen once they were finished eating. She's a lot different with him around, Kankuro suddenly said. She is. And I approve if they get close, said Gaara. Naruto is a very nice, kind person. The people of the Hidden Leaf did not deserve him. All that he did for them and they did that to him. However, that is the past. His home is now here. And the both of them are really good with each other, said Gaara. As he knew that Naruto would be a person that would take care of his sister, go to any lengths to make sure that she was okay and happy. And Temari seemed to care for him a lot. He's never seen any other boy in this village got that close to her. However, Gaara had scared several of them away as well. As Kankuro was surprised, but he shouldn't be. He saw how nice Naruto was to her, and he saw how much she cared for him. Not to mention, Naruto and Gaara were really close as well, as the blonde was the one that helped Gaara, that changed him, that gave him a new output on life. In the kitchen, so, what do you have planned for today? Temari asked. I'll start my training today, said Naruto. Get my body up to speed and work on my taijutsu. Then meet up with Gaara in the afternoon for my registration and take what rank I'm given, said Naruto. She nodded, happy that he was going to get back in shape. She knew the kind of ninja he could be, and when backed in a corner, how protective he was of the people that were close to him, and she was glad that he was a sand ninja now. If you want any help or a sparring partner, I'll help you, alright? As Naruto nodded gratefully. Thank you, but for now I'll focus on training myself back to the way I once was. It's been quite a while, he said. I have also had many weaknesses in the past that I had a lot of time to think about, several of them that I have overlooked, as I thought about my previous battles in the past. I'll work up those skills as well, so I won't have to rely on the Kyuubi's chakra all the time. As Naruto realized whenever he was in a pinch, as a lot of his battles he had to use the Fox chakra to overcome his enemies. He needed to be strong. He needed to prove that he was strong as well, to prove that he was something better than any of them expected, and he was talking about Konoha. His mind has not fully thought about anyone there. He just referred towards the village. It was too hard to even think about them. Temari had heard the determination in his voice, as she saw that the spark was reigniting inside of him. Alright, she said. Just tell me when you're ready. I'm looking forward to that spar. As she made her way, as Naruto went to his room, as he showered, he then put on some clothing, before he picked up a box that his parents had left him. As he gazed at the scrolls inside of it, he had read a few of the books that his mother left him from the Uzumaki clan. But he did not look into all of the scrolls that his father left him, or the scrolls pertaining the adamantine chains and Kinjutsu. Since his days of a shinobi, he believed they were over. He never focused on those. But now was the time as Naruto opened his father taijutsu style, the hummingbird style. It was used for quickness, agilities, and fast blows, as there were several Namikaze members who were naturally entwined to those fast speed movements. He always wondered how he was so quick that he could outrun an squadron of Anvu when the old man sent them after him to capture him, when he caused some big trouble in the village, as sometimes it took hours for them to even catch him. His heart ached as he thought about how much the old man fought for him against the council. As Naruto walked to a training field that was on the estate, as he looked toward the training dummies, they would be perfect. As Naruto started to read over the style, he would make something of himself, something great, something that no one would ever expect. He would surpass all their expectations. Believe it. Time skip. Kazekage Chambers. At the council room, the council structure of the stand was very different from the structure that Konoha had. Where Konoha had a shinobi council, a civilian council, and the elder council, the stand used a council comprising of 10 people, all high-ranking people of the village, or war veterans with plenty of experience and wisdom. As Gaara came in through the door, the Anvus closed the door behind him. As they vanished away, he sat at the seat at the round table. As everyone wondered why he called an emergency meeting, seeing their confusion, he decided to explain. As all of you must be wondering why I called you here, I'll get straight to the point, he said. As they all nodded. You all must be aware who Naruto Uzumaki is, I presume. They all nodded, as they all knew of the guy that defeated Gaara. 6 months ago, Naruto Uzumaki was banished from the Hidden Leaf, and it was ordered by the council that if he stepped foot in their territory, he will be met with execution. The council was shocked, surprised by that. If they were not mistaken, this boy was powerful enough to overtake Gaara, and yet they banished him. Why would they do that, Baki asked. He was one of their promising and loyal genins, if what we saw was any indication. What did he do? Baki said. He captured Sasuke Uchiha and returned him back to the Hidden Leaf after the battle. Sasuke had succumbed to several injuries, which were minor compared to the injuries that Naruto had suffered. However, the council decided to take out the hate on him due to him being a Jinchuriki, and thought that this was a perfect moment. They blamed him, saying that he was trying to kill Sasuke, and for that, they had him banished. All of his friends and teachers turned on him, reading the false report of the Uchiha, and the presence of the Biju Chakra solidified their false accusations. Whispers and murmurs started to break out in the council room. Those fools, one of the members said. We should look for the boy and bring him here, and make him become a Sand Shinobi. As I know you have great respect for the boy, Kazekage-sama, and given how powerful he is, he will be a great addition towards the Hidden Sand. Yes, he could be a strong shinobi for the village, and his loyalty is unquestionable. Once he has a village fighting for, I still can't believe Konoha would do something like this. The members started to speak up amongst themselves. There's no need to look for him, said Gaara. He's already here. As the members looked towards him surprised, Temari found him, not too long ago, in a village near the Land of Wind. I have already assigned him into the roster. The only thing that is needed was to give him a proper rank, and I'm here to hear your recommendations, he said stoically, as they all murmured amongst themselves before Ebisu spoke up. After his performance in the exam and the invasion essay, Chunin is a suitable rank for now, Kazekage-sama. As the other members agree, as Gaara nodded as well with a smile, then, from hereby out, Naruto Uzumaki will be Chunin rank of the Hidden Sand, said Gaara. I have decided to place him on the reserve list for the time being, as that was his request to me. They were confused by that, so Gaara elaborated. To hide himself in the past 6 months, he has not used Chakra, and he has lost some of his edge. He has requests for an indefinite training time until he finds himself back into top shape, and I agree with him. Do all of you? Given that it has been 6 months, they can understand. As they all nodded. With that, Gaara dismissed the council. Moments later, Kazekage's office. There was a knock as Gaara was waiting for his friend. "Come in," he said, as Naruto came in a shinobi outfit, looking a lot better. The council has made their decision and, in an unanimous voting, has based their expertise on your rank. After the performance they saw in the Chunin exams, they believe that it's safe to say that you hereby be handed the rank of Chunin. As he handed Naruto a light beige vest, as Naruto took it, he was a bit nervous that the council might not accept him, but he had to remember that this was something else, a different place, a different start. "Thanks, Gaara," said Naruto as he bowed in respect. Once again. "Here's your registration form," he said, as he handed Naruto the paper. "There's just a few things: name, clan status, rank, parents, and a signature to pledge your allegiance to the Hidden Sand. There's no need for a photograph. I had one that was taken while you were training, so there's no time to waste for it." As Naruto filled it out, he did not lie. As he handed it back to Gaara, Gaara blinked in shock as he looked at the names that he saw. He looked at Naruto. As he looked back at the names, Gaara reached for a bingo book, an old one. One from the past, it seemed, seeing that it was more down in the jaw. Opening said bingo book, Gaara looked it over. As he looked up towards Naruto's face and looked back down, he looked up and looked back down. "I cannot believe no one has not noticed this for all these years. I myself feel stupid." It was staring us right in the face. "Do you wish to tell the people of this village?" As Naruto was glad that he did not doubt his claim. "I'm not really ready to defend myself if someone come after me," said Naruto. "Let me get a bit stronger first," said Naruto. "And I don't really care for the fame either. I just want to take up my father's name." "You could have hid it from me until you were ready. Why did you tell me then?" Gaara asked. "You're my Kage now," said Naruto. "I am loyal to the village, but first and foremost to you. I won't lie to you." That brought a smile to Gaara's face. "Very well," he said. "This registration form will be misplaced for the time being, until you're ready to reveal it. I am glad that you trust me with this, and your request to be placed on the reserve roster has been approved. You'll be reinstated when I feel you're ready, or when you request yourself," said Gaara. "Here's your monthly stipend," he said. "You will get it from me personally, until you're back on your feet," he said. Gaara didn't want to tell him that it was from him personally, and not from the village, as he didn't want him to waste his time on D-rank missions. He wanted to focus on getting his rank back up. Not to mention, he had a lot from the Sabaku no Fortune, so there was nothing to worry about. "Thank you, Gaara," said Naruto. "I really appreciate this." As Naruto turned, "Wait. Naruto, tell me, what do you think of Temari?" As Naruto turned towards him, seeing that Gaara was dead serious. "I owe her my life," said Naruto. "I would have died. I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for her. I care for her greatly." He said that smile, thinking about her. As Naruto then turned and left, that was all that Gaara needed to hear. As he smiled to himself, things were going well. Time skip. Naruto was sitting on the roof, as he had done this for the past 6 months whenever he could, gazing up at the stars, wondering if he belonged anywhere. However, now his mind had changed. "Hey!" Naruto turned as he saw Temari climbed up, as she was in her battle kimono. She came and sat down beside him as she hugged her knees. "Hey," said Naruto. "I heard you made Chunin. Congratulations." "Thank you," said Naruto. "I owe it all to you, and my life," said Naruto. "I finally feel like I belong somewhere. Throughout the treatment of my younger life, it made me not realize the big difference between here and there. I'm not being run out of a store. People are not actively trying to hurt or seek out hatred for me for no reason, and reasons I cannot control myself. And it's all because of you. I just want you to know how grateful I am," said Naruto. "It's alright," she said. "Everyone will always accept you here. And I will always," she said to him, making him smile. The both of them smiled something, as she snarled, "That idiot Kankuro is making something again. He's trying to be a good cook like you. I swear, I'm not eating any of that." As that made Naruto laugh, loving how they banter amongst one another. She smiled and leaned her head on his shoulder, as she felt a bit chilly. At night, the sun was really cold. As Naruto wrapped his arm around her waist, making her blush as he held her close, using his jacket as a weight and his arm to Well, warm her up. Don't worry. I'll make you something after they're done finishing their dinner, said Naruto. Thanks, I love your cooking. I know, said Naruto. They entered an hour later as Naruto cooked her up some curry and rice. As she devoured it, she also wanted to ask him something, but she was pretty nervous. It's not like they were in need to do it again. But still, she wanted to ask. Naruto, she said. He looked towards her. What's wrong, said Naruto, seeing that she was a bit embarrassed and nervous. I kinda want to ask if we can share the same bed together. I like it when someone holds me, she said. I was thinking if you wouldn't mind. As she was scratching her cheek, Naruto started to laugh. As she thought that, well, he was making fun of her for saying that. However, she should know that he would never do something like that. As Naruto walked over towards her, you didn't even need to have to ask, said Naruto. Although, maybe you should have, he said. It's just, I wanted to ask the same thing, but I was worried that I was pushing it a bit too far. I mean, the past few days where we slept together in the hotel, it was the best sleep I had in months. And I guess I got really attached to it. And it's, amazing. She smiled when she heard that. So if you don't mind, go on and get changed to something comfortable, said Naruto, seeing that the both of them were finished eating. As Temari went and get changed into her shorts. Last night was embarrassing enough when she was in her underwear, as she went to put on her shorts and her shirt as well. She arrived to see Naruto in only his boxers and his shirt. Naruto, are you gonna sleep in that, she said. What's wrong with it, said Naruto looking down. Nothing, she said, it's alright. Blushing a bit. As she crawled on the bed as Naruto crawled over as well. She turned her back towards him as Naruto's arms went around her. She felt it, that comfort, that warmth. As Naruto also felt amazing as well. Having her beside him was heavenly. Good night, Naruto, she said. Good night, Temari. As they fell asleep. The next morning, as Temari woke up, seeing that whiskered face, she just cuddled more up into him. As Kankuro was gone, he went on a patrolling mission, and Gaara always leave early so she could sleep in a bit. That is when they were interrupted by a knock. A frown came on her face, a really bad one. As she was upset, she was having a wonderful moment and then she made her way towards the door in a heated anger. However, she calmed down when she saw Lady Chiyo. Lady Chiyo, this is a surprise. Is something wrong, she asked. No, said Chiyo. I just wanted to meet this new tuning I heard about yesterday at the council. Its name was Naruto Uzumaki if I remember correctly. Temari looked at her surprised. She thought of many reasons for her visit, but this was not one that she expected. What do you want with him? Temari asked in a polite way, but there was some cautious tone in her voice. Can't we go in and talk about it? My old legs get tired very easily, you know. Of course, where are my manners? Come on in, she said. As she took her headband and tied up her hair in a ponytail. As she offered Cho a seat who smiled. I'll go and get Naruto. Temari entered the room to see Naruto coming out wiping his face with a towel. Who was it, Temari? He said. It's Lady Chiyo, one of the honorable elders of the village. Highly respected. She wants to meet you. Me? What for? Lady Chiyo is a strange woman. She will only talk to you about what she wants. Let's go. Arriving, Naruto saw an old lady looking at him. She looked at him with surprise and then fondness in her eyes. A warm look, as he grew pretty confused. I apologize, but I don't really know who you are, said Naruto. Lady Chiyo, if I'm not mistaken. So, what is it that you wish to see me for, said Naruto. As Temari had placed out some small biscuits on the table, Chiyo picked up one and she placed one in her mouth. Straight to the point and not wasting any time. Just like a Uzumaki. I had my suspicions, but you really are his son, aren't you? The same here. Eyes. And face as well. Now I have cleared all my doubts. As Naruto looked at her, his eyes narrowed. I don't understand what you mean, he said. Oh please, don't try to play dumb with me. I'm too old for that, she said. Naruto went through handstand before bringing his arm down. Seals spread over the room before they poofed away. Privacy seals with only hand signs. At such a high level, you are a true Uzumaki indeed. As Naruto turned his gaze towards her, Temari was confused and not sure what was going on. Who told you? Said Naruto. Naruto, what's going on? Said Temari confused. Naruto turned as he couldn't believe that he hadn't told her this yet. He opened his mouth but Lady Chiyo beat him to it. Are you sure that it's wise to tell her? This is quite the secret. I'm sorry, but I mean don't disrespect, but it's my decision, said Naruto. Temari, she's talking about my parents. Somehow it seems she knew them. You never told me about them after that night. I asked about that later, said Temari. But how does she know them? And who are they? As Chiyo spoke up, I met them during the war. End of the Great Third Shinobi War though. Given the alliance between our two villages. Your mother was a very fiery woman. With a red hair to go with it, her temper just as bright and hot. I saw her save many Sand Shinobis on the battlefield, risking even her life to do so. To show the respect despite not being from the same village. Despite not knowing her father personally, I could tell that he was a man that was filled with compassion for people. He held off an entire platoon in order to save our group from the hidden sand. When I heard the name Uzumaki, I knew it had to be. Not many remember the clan because they grew extinct after the Second Great Shinobi War. A few members spreading around. Temari stood there. Your mother, Kushina Uzumaki, the last princess of the Uzumaki clan of Whirlpools. And your father, she said, growing quiet. Who was he? Said Temari. Minato Namikaze, said Naruto. Temari froze. Why did that name sound so familiar? Wait, you mean the Yellow Flash? The fourth Hokage? She said in shock. Yeah, said Naruto, as there was a look on his face as Temari held his shoulder. I apologize for bringing back any bad memories, Chiyo said. I just wanted to meet your son. After all, I never thought this meeting would be a possibility. Don't be, said Naruto. I'm glad I met someone that knew them personally. If you don't mind, could you tell me a bit about them, said Naruto. Of course. Unfortunately, today I have one of those blasted meetings. So why don't you come to my house tomorrow? Temari here will tell you where it is. That would be very nice. Thank you, said Naruto, as she bid her farewell to them. Naruto, does Gaara know about this? I filled it in the info, said Naruto. When I was supposed to get registered, he asked me if I want everyone to know. But I don't want to be a target just yet, said Naruto. If the rumors spread out there, then why didn't you tell me? Don't you trust me? Of course, said Naruto. I trust you more than anything. I was gonna tell you on that day when you asked me about the scroll. However, I was not in a good place mentally, said Naruto. And I guess I just got wrapped up in everything. I'm sorry, he said. It's alright, she said. Things were not 100 back there, so it's alright, she told him with a smile. Thanks for understanding, said Naruto. So when will you reveal it to the village? She asked him. He too wanted to take up his father's name, but the time was not right. I'm not strong enough, said Naruto, to protect myself or the people close to me. And I know that there must be people out there that are still sour about my father and the things that he done. Especially during the war. And I don't want the people around me to get hurt. I don't want enemies coming after me and hurting the ones I care about, said Naruto, looking at her. So I have to be stronger first. You take as much time as you want, she said. I will not tell a soul. I trust you, Mari-chan, said Naruto. More than anything in this world. Temari blinked. What did you just call me? Oh, sorry about that, said Naruto. I didn't... No, she said. I like it. In fact, if you want, you can call me that from now on. Alright, Mari-chan, said Naruto. So you wouldn't mind me calling you Naruto-kun, right? Of course not. In fact, that would be amazing, he told her. Well then, Naruto-kun, she said, with a smile on her face, as she had felt her heart jump when he said that, calling her Mari-chan, as she realized that she cared for him more than she thought, really deeply. But guys, we ends up so right here. If you want the next part to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and tell me if you're new. I'll be planning talking back to all of you. And don't forget to go ahead and check out the other what ifs. I posted what if God like Naruto was haunted by the gods of Mount Olympus. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy, guys. And also, what if Naruto was a prodigy of the Uzumaki Senju and Uchiha clan? So go ahead, check out that and enjoy, guys. And remember, if you're new for channels, yeah, guys. And I also post what if Naruto had quirks. So go ahead, check out that and enjoy. I'm making 3. So without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.